What is up, guys? This is Gotcha here with another Dragon Ball Sparking Zero discussion video, and it's very unfortunate that I'm doing a video talking about such a sorry state that the game is in right now. But the game is just surrounded by a lot of negativity and controversy, and there's a lot to talk about, from the meta to the stupid mechanics in this game and the stupid behavior that I witnessed when it comes to how toxic the freaking Dragon Ball Sparking Zero community is, and it's downright depressing. And it makes me feel less motivated to actually do content for this game, to the point where I'll sit there and be like, do I really want to do this shit today? I may wind up doing content sparingly because of how ridiculous this is. So, of course, there's a lot of cheese going on, and there's the news that happened recently regarding the tournament, how people was trolling the hell out of the tournament scene with showing how broken Android 19 and 20 is when it comes to going up and down, up and down, up and down. No, not like that, but I'm just clowning now. But basically just zipping up and down the freaking sky. One of the most broken ways to avoid one of the most annoying things in the game, at least to me, is instant sparking. But it is an insane mechanic, especially if somebody abuses the shit out of it, because it's really hard to catch up to people when you're able to infinitely go up and down, up and down, up and down. And there's a lot of other annoying things about this game, but that was one of the things that was brought up, and it created quite a stir in this tournament that Bandai Namco is doing. And I guess it's a great thing that they did that, because they wanted to showcase that there are issues with this game. There are things that need to be addressed. So, hey, I feel that. Do what you gotta do if you want this damn game to do any better, because it's looking hella bad and people act like nothing is going on, and people are delusional and stupid when people are not delusional and stupid. When the numbers are dropping as bad as it has been over the past few weeks, something is fudging wrong. You cannot sit there and act all delusional like nothing's wrong. Yo, this is Dragon Ball, ain't nothing wrong. Shut the hell up and listen to people and let people cook. And why don't we go ahead and start talking about the elephant in the room? Maybe I may do a video talking about the meta of the characters, but I want to focus more on some of the things involving the mechanics. But first, let's go ahead and talk about how nobody likes the box. And if you think about it, why should anybody have the box? Because of the fact that the perception in this game is so easy mode, right? And there's very low risk reward. I mean, like, there's no risk at all, really, because you don't drain ki that much. It's very little, to the point where you can sit there and hold it down the entire match. And maybe, let's say, combine that with an extremely strong character because of the kind of skills that they have. And they could just sit there and stall with perception until they get that powerful skill stacked on top of the perception spam. And they're pretty difficult to beat, especially in the hands of somebody that really knows what they're doing. So why in the fuck would you have the box, right? And that's what makes the game hella boring, when you run into a bunch of players that do just that. I mean, 80% of the time you're going to run into somebody doing that exact same thing, and it makes playing the game hella boring. And so why don't we go ahead and get into the discussion about the mechanics of this game, because the mechanics makes absolutely no sense. I already mentioned how the perception counter is too freaking safe. There's very little risk when using that. I mean, like, you're not losing anything. You're barely losing ki. You can easily get your ki back by just simply charging your ki back up. As long as you're able to do that, I mean, there's no risk. What they really need to do is speed up the drainage of the ki, meaning it should drain way faster. And if they're not going to do that, at least make it where every successful perception attempt drains like maybe like a bar key or half a bar, or whatever the case may be. At least something to make it where they just can't relentlessly over rely on it. So yeah, that has to be done. Let's talk about skill interruption, because I feel like that's a huge issue. There is no punishment for getting your skill interrupted. So let's say you have that powerful skill like the annoying instant sparking, which allows you to do an ultimate at any time. You can interrupt the skill. Yeah, you most definitely can do that. But here's the issue here. There is no punishment for interrupting the skill at all. You could just keep spamming it until the cows come home, until you get that opportunity to actually get max sparking off. So it's like, that's an issue. There's no risk there. They should make it where, if a powerful skill gets interrupted, they should lose the same amount of skill points that they had to use to activate the skill, and that would fix a lot of problems. So it needs to be done. Short dash drains key. Considering the fact that you gotta chase people all over the place when they're being over reliant on getting off max sparking, I feel like there's enough things in this game that drains key, and short dashes, that should not be a thing. Key should not drain when you short dash, because at least that way, that would give you more opportunities to rush down somebody that's just over reliant on max sparking. Because let's face it, max sparking is crazy because of the simple fact that you can pretty much wipe somebody, especially if they're using a character that has an extremely strong ult, or a character that has a max sparking that not only gives them that ability to get off an ultimate, but they also get a big buff. So that's something that has to be adjusted. Another thing that needs to be looked at is some of the supers in this game, because there are some supers that make characters extremely vulnerable, and a good example of this is Android 18's double destructo disc, because dude, the destructo disc, when you use that, sometimes she will literally sit there posing like a supermodel for like 5-10 seconds, especially 10 seconds. That leaves you wide open for just about any freaking thing, man. The ass is out. I'm just saying, when it comes to that. And the ever so annoying vanish wars, something has to be done about that, because I don't care what they got to do. If they have to do something like, let's say, look at the counters, right? Maybe like make it the vanish counter. You're barely losing key when you do a vanish, so maybe make it where a vanish drains a bar key or half a bar. Same thing can be said about the super counter, because the super counter, the fact that the super counter does not have a resource tied to it, I feel like that's something that needs to be adjusted, because the super counter is like this ultimate combo breaker, and it's really hard to get some momentum going with combos because people could just break out of them at any time. So just adding that resource there would help a lot, and it would definitely help tone down the freaking vanish wars. Because imagine the super counter costing a skill or a bar of key or something like that. That means that would reduce the amount of times you would see all of these like vanish wars that would last for 3 to 5 minutes, depending on how good the both players are when it comes to actually doing the vanish counters. So yeah, another real nice thing that could happen, this is a recommend that I have, is the fact that they should make it where the freaking vanish counters, like, or the counter, the vanish counter or the super counter, that there's an option to where you can reset to neutral by canceling the attack animation, so that you can mix things up and do something else instead of being locked into this like clash. And you know, I know what people are going to say, but this is Dragon Ball, that shit happens all the time and it's super cool and it needs to be in the game. Yeah, I get it, right? It is awesome, but after a while it tends to get very obnoxious, and I feel like it'd just be really nice if they had some kind of way where you can choose to manually reset yourself to neutral. I just think that would be hella nice. And so let's go ahead and talk about that major elephant in the room, and that is the fudging community itself, because it's fudging toxic. The fact that you are not allowed to talk about the game is absolutely diabolical. And you have these big ass content creators talking about how there's nothing wrong with this game, and if you're complaining about this game, it's a skill issue, and all these other bombastic comments that they make. It's absolutely toxic as shit, and it needs to stop. Because I mean, like, dude, something is wrong with this damn game. I mean, like, look at what happened at the beginning of the release. Everyone was hype about it. There was a huge number of people playing this game, and now look at the sorry state that the game is in now. A lot of people have issues with what's going on with this game. There is definitely more than a skill issue, and to slam people for sharing their opinions about the game is absolutely stupid. Like, come on, dude. That's how games get better. That's how games improve. That makes people want to play the game more when the game is being, supported. The game is not going to be shit just because they make a few damn changes and now it's not as broken anymore. What the fudge, man? Like, you want this game to live, or do you want this game to die? Because you're practically killing the game doing this shit to people. And that's toxic as fuck. I know I said that quite a few times already. I mean, it's just... Now, I will say this. I would understand if they're literally, reacting to people that's just saying stuff without any kind of, supporting evidence to back up their claim. If they're just saying shit just to hate, then okay, I could understand them calling some people out. But if you're calling out people that's actually providing constructive criticism, because there is a difference between constructive criticism and flat out hating. I mean, like, if you're literally going after the necks of people that are giving constructive feedback, then that is just straight up destructive, and I hate seeing it. I hate hearing about it, and it's fucking disgusting. And that's one of the things that really deters me from this fucking community, dude. Because here's the thing. The thing that I hate about anime gaming communities is it seems as though there's always this vicious cycle where somebody from another game is going to leave the game that they was currently playing, move over to another space, right? Another space for another game, for another franchise, and do the same toxic shit that they did in the previous game, and the cycle continues. Because I would not be surprised if that Bleach game, when that Bleach game comes out, that the same freaking thing is going to happen with that Bleach game. It might be to a lesser degree, because Bleach isn't as popular as Sparking Zero, but the probability of it happening is still pretty high to me, and that's just my take on that. I mean, like, dude, I'm starting to feel less and less interested in doing content for anime games because of this ridiculous behavior that you see time and time again. People need to stop politicking, especially the people that have the numbers and they feel like they could just say whatever they want. Viewers that just mindlessly follow the lead of content creators, they're just as guilty, because they're adding on to the pressures, the negative pressure of shutting people up. Like, dude, let people cook, especially if they have good facts to back up their claims. Hey, let them cook, because that kills games when there's something obviously wrong with the game and then people are just trying to shut people up. Stop that shit. Seriously, stop it. If somebody has a reasonable thing to say in my comment section about a game when I'm sharing my opinion about it and they're being respectful, I don't have an issue with hearing it, because that is more positive dialogue. That's all there is to it. I'm not going to shut that person down just because their views is completely different from my own. Now, do I have to agree with what they say? No, I don't have to. But dude, be fucking respectful, man. I thought the purpose of building a community was bringing people together. You know, not shutting people down just because they feel like this game is allowing them to eat. And then they look at the game and it's like, oh, the game is dying. I gotta stop these people from ruining an opportunity for me. This shit ain't about just the content creator. This isn't about one particular person. This is about everybody that's enjoying the game. You want the game to live, so you're just gonna have to give a little. I mean, like, that's all there is to it. If you enjoyed this video and you feel what I'm saying, hit that fudging like button. And then if you disagree with what I'm saying, oh, you already know what it is. Hit the damn dislike button. Hey, and if you want to hear more from your boy, then hit that subscription button for more spit. Because, yo, I do the videos, I do live streams. And, hey, whether it's a video or the next live stream, I can't wait to see ya. Peace and God bless and game on, peoples. See you next time.